On behalf of the Mauritius Revenue Authority, we are delighted to have you all with us. This gathering provides us with an opportunity to learn, engage, and further understand the essential work that MRA does to keep our nation's tax system running smoothly. Now it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Amick Teeluckdharry to deliver his welcome address. Mr. Teeluckdharry, please.
It is indeed a pleasure, a great pleasure and an honor to welcome you all to the third edition of the MRA Study Tour, a unique and enriching experience designed to enhance your understanding of taxation and its vital role in the progress of our beloved nation. This study tour is not an isolated event. It is part of a much larger educational initiative led by the Mauritius Revenue Authority. Every year, we conduct around 50 educational sessions in secondary schools, reaching young minds like yours, across Mauritius and Rodrigues. Now, you might be asking yourselves, why are we here? Why are you here this morning? Some of you may be wondering, why is taxation such an important topic for students like us? The simple answer is because you are the future of this country. And at the MRA, for us at the MRA, the future is today. In just a few years, you will be stepping into the professional world, whether as employees, entrepreneurs, as professionals in various fields. No matter what career path you choose, taxation will impact your life, whether in the form of salaries, business earnings, or even the goods and services you consume. Understanding taxation from an early stage will empower you to make informed financial decisions and contribute responsibly to society. Now let's have a look at MRA's commitment to tax education. At the Mauritius Revenue Authority, we firmly believe that tax education is not just about rules and regulations. It is about shaping responsible citizens. We want young people like you to see taxation not as a burden, but as a means to build a stronger, fairer, and more prosperous Mauritius. Your participation in this study too is an opportunity to first gain valuable insights from experts like Dr. Rakesh Thecka, team leader at the Taxpayer Education and Communication Department. By the way, Dr. Rakesh Thecka is with the MRA right from the inception of the Mauritius Revenue Authority. Secondly, you'll understand how taxes fund essential public services, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and security. Thirdly, you'll learn about the importance of tax compliance and the role each citizen plays in national development. And fourthly, you will engage in discussions about taxes. You will have the opportunity to ask questions to enhance your knowledge of taxation and its impact on your future. Now, what about the role of the future leaders of Mauritius? Your role. As the youth of Mauritius, you are not passive observers. You are active stakeholders in shaping the future. The knowledge you gain today will help you become responsible taxpayers, ethical professionals, and even advocates for transparency and fairness in taxation, values that underpin our actions at the MRA as professionals. Okay. This study too is not just about listening, it is about participation. I encourage you all to be curious, to ask questions, and to reflect on the role that taxation plays in our daily life. A country's progress depends not only in its policies, but on the awareness and engagement of its people. The more informed you are, the stronger our society becomes. With that, I welcome you all to this third edition of the MRA Study Tour. Let's make the most of this opportunity to learn, to share, and to grow together. Thank you, and enjoy the session.
Thank you, Mr. Teeluckdharry, for your insightful words. We are now privileged to hear from our chief guest, Mr. Sudhamo, Director General of the MRA, who will deliver his keynote address. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Lal on the stage. Please.
It's with enthusiasm that I stand here alongside my dedicated MRA team to extend a warm welcome to all of you. In particular, I want to acknowledge the presence of students in the auditorium of the Integrated Customs Clearance Center, a modern and eco-friendly building that symbolizes our commitment to sustainable department goals. I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the management and educators of Loreto College, Rose Hill, St. Joseph's College, and West Coast International Secondary School for their involvement and effort in facilitating the organization of this event. Dear students, your participation today reflects a keen interest in understanding the operations of MRA and how we contribute to the socio-economic development of Mauritius. This collaboration between educational institutions and MRA is essential for nurturing a well-informed citizenry on tax. Since its inception in 2006, MRA has been steadfast in its quest to instill a tax culture founded on voluntary compliance. To this end, we established the Taxpayer Education and Communication Department dedicated to demystifying tax obligations and promoting compliance through education. Our educational initiatives are multifaceted, targeting a diverse audience from large corporations to small and medium enterprises, and importantly, to secondary school students like yourselves. This outreach is important as you represent the taxpayers of tomorrow. Dear students, it's vital to convey the significance of tax contributions and to transform the perception of paying taxes from a mere obligation into a positive commitment towards societal well-being. Furthermore, MRA plays an imperative role in safeguarding our borders and combating the illicit flow of drugs. We use innovative technology, including advanced scanners, alongside a high-trained workforce. Central to our operational strategy at the Customs Department are our 16 canines, affectionately known as sniffer dogs, whose olfactory capabilities are indispensable in the fight against smuggling. deployed strategically at crucial points such as the port, airport, parcel port, container terminal. These specially trained dogs can detect a wide range of illegal items from currency and contraband to narcotics like cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamines. In 2024, our sniffer dogs were instrumental in uncovering 73 illicit cases, collectively valued at rupees 2.5 billion. Dear students, it's imperative that you recognize your vital role as contributors to the socio-economic development of Mauritius. Over the past 5 years, MRA has reached approximately 12,000 students through tax sensitization initiatives, engaging with around 50 colleges annually. In pursuit of these objectives, I am pleased to announce that we are in the process of introducing tax clubs in schools designed to promote early awareness of tax responsibilities and benefits. These clubs will offer a platform for continuous education and engagement, cultivating informed, responsible citizens. The project is jointly being worked out with the Ministry of Education and Human Resource. We firmly believe that youth engagement will forge a more responsible generation of taxpayers, which is vital for the future of our economy. At MRA, we embrace the philosophy of partners in progress. We envision all stakeholders and taxpayers, especially you, the students, as potential advocates for our mission. By prioritizing taxpayer engagement, MRA seeks to promote a culture of voluntary compliance, ensuring that everyone feels invested in our collective progress. From an obligation to pay taxes, we want to instill a culture of willingness to do so. Looking ahead, we are fervent about organizing similar educational tours for other colleges, thereby widening our reach and impact. Dear students, I wish you all abundant success in your personal and academic endeavors. Remember, the future of our beautiful island rests in your capable hands. Together, we can take our country to new heights. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. We will now view a video entitled MRA Position to Meet Challenges Ahead. The aim of this video is to give you an insight of MRA's strategic direction.
Since its very inception on 1st July 2006, the MRA has kept its promise to pursue the rise in revenue collection year in, year out. By now, the MRA has remitted more than ₹1 trillion to the national treasury. That is, taxpayers have contributed more than ₹1,000 billion to the socio-economic development of Mauritius through the MRA during the last 15 years. Sustained by information and communication technologies, processes have been automated to make of the MRA a paperless organization. 97% of payments are made electronically. E-filing of returns has successfully attained the 100% goal. From its initial role as revenue collector, today the MRA is an important provider of financial assistance to the needy. It all started with the payment of negative income tax in 2017 and a special allowance in 2018.
To cope with the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, more than 27 billion rupees have been distributed by now under the Self-Employed Assistance Scheme and the Government Wage Assistance Scheme. Some 279,000 employments have been saved and some 262,000 self-employed individuals have been guaranteed a minimum subsistence. The MRA also avails to be an important player on the international scene through Teachr, Qatar and the WCU, with major strategic attributions assigned to it. The MRA has also honored its obligations towards the OECD, SADC and the IMF. The mantra at the MRA is threefold. People at the MRA manage the present effectively, they forget the past selectively, and they create the future today through breakthrough innovations.
The vision was to transform Mauritius tax administration and make MRA a efficient, effective and world-class revenue administration. This in fact was the biggest change management exercise in Mauritius, and it laid emphasis on trade and taxpayer facilitation, reducing the cost of doing business and reducing the cost of collections, promoting greater performance and efficiency with a new HR framework, better automation and simplification of procedures and processes.
From tons of paper to a paperless organization, processes at the MRA have been automated, offering taxpayers the possibility of doing business online at any time from anywhere. Filing of returns have never been so smart.
At the very inception, we decided to do more with less. Heavy investment was made in new technologies. A new integrated tax system was implemented. All processes were rationalized and re-engineered, and taxpayers were gradually shifted to e-filing, a new e-culture.
The Customs Department of the MRA has kept on consolidating its role as a border protector.
The Customs Modernization and Reform Program, which started in late 1995, was given a new boost since the inception of the MRA in 2006. What we did differently? We cannot modernize if other agents do not do so. So what we did is bring them all under one roof under the coordinated border management concept. We did the same thing regarding control at customs. You will see that we have seized drugs and illicit precursors, the value of 6.1 billion rupees for the past few years. How we did that? We did that because we created the network, international, regional, local law enforcement agencies. Doing this, we have also harnessed the powers of ICT, canine sniffer dog, and non-intrusive inspection using highly sophisticated scanners.
Narcotics for a total market value of more than 6 billion rupees have been seized. MRA Customs has spared no effort in having recourse to latest, innovative, state-of-the-art technologies meeting international best practices. Conscious of the changing climatic environment and threats such as extreme poor weather conditions, the MRA has armed itself in line with the National Disaster Scheme 2016 to ensure business continuity through an integrated, robust disaster management framework. Right from the beginning, the MRA has reckoned the importance of the people factor in the accomplishment of daily tasks, thus putting people first in all its endeavors.
At the MRA, it is our people who are the most important asset. And this is why we trust our people. We care for them, we engage them, and we empower them. We give them all the required support and resources for them to excel and they give the best for the MRA.
During these challenging times, supervisors at all levels at the MRA have vowed to engage employees' hearts and minds. The latest taxpayer satisfaction survey has revealed that 90% of taxpayers are fully satisfied with the quality of service offered by the MRA. MRA has recourse to the most effective ways of communicating with stakeholders: a user-friendly website, the Taxpayer mailing service, MRA Facebook page, Twitter account, short explanatory videos in Creole and English, daily 1-minute radio programs, regular presence on radio, TV and in newspapers. We also attend to queries via emails and phone calls. All these initiatives add to the word of mouth in the dissemination of information.
The MRA is convinced that it would need a new breed of employees who are not only conversant with bookkeeping and tax auditing technique, but are familiar and competent in new information technology tools and are also efficient in e-economy and the commerce which is growing in the world.
MRA's business model already inspires many revenue authorities across the world. However, as Mr. Lal points out, in the coming 4 years, this model will be different, involving further breakthrough innovations.
The MRA is now in a position to move into the next stage of transformation of its tax revenue administration process. We have been tapping the benefits of information technology mainly for the benefit of our stakeholders. We will now focus more on using IT in our tax compliance strategy.
The MRA will soon be implementing the e-invoicing project, which in a nutshell is the e-reporting of all sales invoices by businesses in real time to the tax authority.
To make things more interesting, we have cryptocurrency, e-invoicing, machine learning and artificial intelligence that are being seriously considered for the MRA future strategy.
Teamwork, collaboration, participation and learning are more than ever the guiding principles that will help the MRA implement a new, proactive business model.
Through our dynamic capacity building initiatives, we are grooming a new breed of employees, highly skilled and innovative to meet the challenges ahead.
With the high volume of transaction data available in-house, the MRA has started recruiting data analysts and data scientists to maintain its position as a world-class tax administration.
A team of ICT professionals with proven expertise keeps all the stakeholders of the MRA connected.
MRA has put in place the best hardware and software solutions available on the market in order to cater the increasing demanding needs of all our stakeholders.
With the same vigor, we're going to address future challenges such as intelligence-based anti-narcotics anti-money strategies, blockchain-enabled bill of lading, and integrated single window for further trade facilitation.
The concept of the ICCC gives an idea of the model envisioned by the MRA. The imminent advent of the MRA Revenue House with all its enhanced features will allow MRA officers to evolve in a new and modern workplace environment, very much conducive to offering the smartest services to taxpayers and further serve as a model to the world.
In the years to come, the MRA has the intention to further promote the work-from-home concept and introduce e-audit software packages to facilitate this process. Similarly, the auditing of taxpayers will undergo further changes as we gradually promote lifestyle audits, computer auditing, automated assessments, electronic record keeping, and cooperative compliance.
The Mauritius Revenue Authority will further enhance its status of a world-class revenue authority for the people and by the people. And it is more than ever positioned to meet further challenges for a prosperous Mauritius.
Thank you for watching. Now it is time to further look at the vital role of the MRA as we move into the session presented by Dr. Thecka, who will take us through the various aspects of MRA's mandate, including tax education, sustainability, and the role of customs. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Thecka on stage.
Good morning. I'm here today to talk to you about the MRA, about what we do, and in whatever we do, how it affects your lives. So let's start from the start. The MRA started its operation in 2006. So prior to the setting up of the MRA, there existed 4 distinct departments, namely Income Tax Department, VAT Department, Large Taxpayer Department, and Customs and Excise Department. With the advent of the MRA, all these distinct departments came together to form a one-stop shop. So today, whatever you have to do in terms of taxation, you go to the MRA. We collect more than 90% of total tax revenue that goes in the consolidated fund. The remaining 10% is being collected by other government institutions. It may be not necessarily tax, it may be fines, it may be other forms of levies, fees, etc. that goes again in the consolidated fund. We administer all the revenue laws and we fall under the responsibility of the Ministry of Finance. This is the organization structure of the MRA. So you're going to notice that on the top, we have the MRA board. We have the Director General, who we have the privilege to have in our midst today, Mr. Sudhamo. He has been with us since 2005, and he has more than 20 years in this organization. And let me tell you, during this span of time, the revenue generated by the MRA has increased by more than 4 times. We have a functional structure, organizational structure. You need to notice in the middle, the compliance department. This is the core business of the MRA. So on top left, you're going to see large taxpayers department. A large taxpayer in the context of Mauritius is any entity generating a revenue of more than 100 million annually. This is categorized as a large taxpayer. And all the other people, I mean, who is earning less than 100,000 is classified as a medium and small taxpayer. We also have an operational services department. So whatever you have to, let's say, make a payment, to register for VAT or to create a tax account number, whatever services that you require, you will go to the operational services department. We have got fiscal investigations, the name itself tells you. So in cases of tax evasion, this department investigates into those cases and makes those people pay the fair share of taxes. We also have Customs Department. Later on, I'm going to give a more detailed explanation about customs. We have objections, appeals, and dispute resolution. This is one specific department which works quite independently. Let me take, for example, an MRA officer, tomorrow you're working, makes a claim for you to pay 100,000 rupees. Let's say, I'm taking for sake of explanation. So you have the option to object against the decision of the MRA through the objections and appeal department. Of course, if you have got reasonable ground to believe that the 100,000 is in excess of your requirement. So you have this possibility, you can object, and this department is going to work out your audit again. And the possibilities that we have is to maintain the claim, to reduce or to increase it. Let's say you're not satisfied with the objection and dispute resolution department, you can still object through the ARC, what we call the Assessment Review Committee. It is as a tax tribunal that operates in Mauritius, where you may object to the decision of this department. You're not satisfied with the ARC, you can still go to the Supreme Court of Mauritius. You're not satisfied with the Supreme Court, you can still go to the Privy Council. So what I'm telling you, just to say that we have an appeal mechanism in place. And on your left, you're going to notice we have got support departments. In the support department, we have got information systems, finance and administration, human resources, legal services, research policy and planning, and taxpayer education and communication department. On your right, you have got 2 divisions, the internal affairs division and the internal audit division. The internal audit sees to it that all the tasks, all the activities that are being performed by MRA are being done in accordance with the standard operating procedures. And just to tell you that MRA is an ISO certified organization. The Internal Affairs Division sees to it that all the activities are done in accordance with the procedures, and in case of any malpractices or in any breaches, they investigate into those cases. So just to sum up, it is like a police de police, right? And this is the organization structure. We have approximately 1,500 staff who are posted in different units according to their specialization. Our mission is to continually reform and modernize revenue administration in order to manage and operate an effective and efficient revenue organization comprising of highly motivated and skilled staff. Our vision is to be a world-class revenue authority. You understand? World-class revenue authority, we want to be the best. It seems quite illogical maybe for you to think that this small island of Mauritius may wish to become #1 in the world. But let me tell you, in the last Business Ready report, 2024, which was published by World Bank, Mauritius is ranked at the 5th position. So in the first position, you have New Zealand, second Estonia, third Hong Kong, fourth Singapore, and fifth is Mauritius in terms of ease of paying taxes. And in the previous report, that is previous of Business Ready, there was another index that was called Ease of Paying Taxes report, again published by the World Bank. There also, Mauritius was ranked 5th, in the 5th position. We were even ahead of US, Canada, Germany, England, France, and all the other countries. So just for you to have an idea of what we are talking about. So why we are here with the young generation? Because we want you to become the ambassadors of a role model for a taxpayer. So we want you to become compliant taxpayers in the future. So what we have been doing, we have been going to the schools, universities, telling people of what we do and how those monies that we collect, how it is spent. So let's watch a video about the different education sessions with testimonies.
Hello, today's youth are tomorrow's taxpayers. It is therefore necessary that they are made aware of the importance of taxation with a view to cultivate a willingness to pay rather than an obligation to pay attitude. In that perspective, MRA resource persons are conducting talks on the importance of paying taxes in secondary schools throughout the island. The duration of the talk is around 1 hour, about topics including the role of the MRA in the Mauritian economy, taxes administered, tax collections in figures, why should we pay tax, and more importantly, how to become a compliant taxpayer. The talk is followed by a video projection and a question and answer session. During the past 3 years, the MRA has conducted 70 talks in more than 60 colleges, reaching over 5,000 students, including a few sessions via Zoom during the pandemic period when the schools were closed. It makes no doubt that our potential taxpayers are being prepared to meet their tax obligations in the future. Tax education in schools is accompanied by a survey with a view to enhance the delivery of the presentation.
Why do we pay tax? It's something that many of us are not aware of. Now that we know why we are doing it, what benefits we'll get in the future, I think it facilitates our life.
Je trouvais les bien interactifs et on a beaucoup d'affaires à apprendre comment ban corporate tax nous a payé ou même ban individual tax.
I found the presentation highly impressive as it has provided us a deep insight of what the MRA is doing and also about where taxpayers' money are going and how it is being used. And I find that it is a very good initiative on the part of the MRA, and I would highly recommend each and every one of my friends to attend this presentation and benefit from it.
Je trouve que c'est très intéressant, c'est une bonne initiative parce que, par exemple, moi je suis élève d'économie et ce qu'on fait dans les livres c'est purement théorique, tandis que là on apprend vraiment ce que c'est que la taxation, comment ça se passe dans notre pays, on en apprend vraiment beaucoup plus de détails, comment ça se passe. Vous avez expliqué par exemple le barème de 25 000 roupies dont personne n'était au courant d'ailleurs. Du coup ça nous emmène beaucoup plus d'informations, ça nous permet de mieux comprendre notre pays, ce qui arrive à l'argent et surtout que nous on est étudiants, on n'en a aucune idée de ce qui se passe en vrai.
The culture of tax compliance being strengthened, it is strongly believed that there will be a definite improvement in the moral obligation to voluntarily pay taxes in years to come. You may view a series of videos on the different aspects of taxation on our website www.mra.mu. Thank you.
As a responsible organization, MRA is not only inclined toward collecting taxes, but we also act in a way to reduce the carbon footprint that are being generated by different organizations. And just to give you some examples, we have integrated LED lights and timers to our electrical structure to improve energy efficiency. We have installed solar water heaters and solar panels outside this building. When you go outside, you may have a look. We have even distributed up to 20,000 plants during our blood donors association, during our blood donation events, which we carry out every year. And we have been doing it for the past 17 years. And in the last Environmental 2024 award, we have been the second runner-up in the public sector category. So just for you to have an idea, we are going to watch a video on what we have been doing during the past years in terms of sustainability.
At MRA, we believe that protecting our environment is not just a responsibility, but a commitment and a duty of care towards the citizens of the Republic of Mauritius. The Finance and Administration Department is proud to share with you some of the eco-friendly measures taken by MRA. Some 200 trees have been planted at Custom House and some 16,000 plants have been distributed across the island through MRA blood donation activities. At Custom House, various measures have been implemented to enhance sustainability and efficiency. The building management system has been upgraded to optimally control the chiller for the air conditioning system. Waterproofing has been replaced with a higher solar reflectance index material, minimizing heat radiation into the building. Rainwater is harvested in 9,000-litre tanks and used for irrigation and washing of MRA vehicles. All vehicles procured by MRA comply with European emission standards, Euro norms. Used oils and spare parts are recycled. For some MRA vehicles, retreading of worn tires has resulted in an estimated 15,000 to 20,000 kilometers of extra life per tire. MRA vehicles are equipped with a GPS tracking system as a way to reduce fuel costs, keeping its vehicles at fuel-efficient speeds and improve routing. MRA has adopted a laudable approach for sorting of office waste like paper, cartons and plastics for recycling purposes. The NGO Mission Verte has installed recycling bins at Custom House for waste collection. Documents reaching their retention period are also industrially shredded by registered recyclers. MRA recycled some 30 tons of paper over the last 3 years. Recycling 1 ton of paper can save 17 trees. Designed in accordance with the Building Control Act, the Integrated Customs Clearance Center is unique in its genre. A modern, eco-friendly architecture, green concepts such as the use of solar energy, maximum use of daylight, natural ventilation, rainwater harvesting systems. The buildings are equipped with LED lights coupled with passive infrared sensors. The lights automatically switch off when the sensors detect no occupancy. At Ehram Court, LED lights have been fitted in the building and are switched on and off at specific times to save electricity. MRA purchases IT equipment from leading brands which are environmentally compliant and use 20 to 30% less energy. Used computers and other hardware are disposed of in accordance with environmental norms followed by recyclers approved by the Ministry of Local Government and Disaster Risk Management. some 700 units were recycled in the last 3 years. As we move forward, MRA is committed to further enhancing its eco-friendly measures. FAD will continue exploring innovative technologies, promoting energy efficiency and integrating sustainable practices in all MRA operations.
Now let's talk about the history of taxation. You may not be aware, in fact, tax is the second oldest profession since humanity. So you may just have a Google to know which one was the oldest profession through Google. So let's have a look. The ancient Egypt, it is 3000 BC, taxes were levied on land and goods. At the Mesopotamia, taxes were levied on trade and goods. Ancient Greece, citizens paid taxes on wealth. Through the Roman Empire, taxes were paid on land, income and trade. Medieval Europe, kings imposed taxes on land, goods, and the clergy. England, taxes were imposed on land and peasants. During the French Revolution, tax systems were based on wealth. During the Industrial Revolution, there was the emergence of income tax and corporate tax. And income tax, the US introduced income tax to fund the Civil War. In the 20th century, income tax became the primary source of revenue for most nations. And post-war, World War II, there was the introduction of a more progressive type of system. And during the 21st century, there is ongoing debates about corporate and wealth tax rates. So let's have a quick view of the different types of taxes, the way it was administered previously by different regimes, by different colonies, etc.
Hello, let's talk about taxation. Taxes are as old as history. The first known form of tax was in ancient Egypt around 3000 BC. During barter systems with no banknotes, no coins, farmers paid taxes to the kings and lords by contributing part of their harvest. People who were too poor to pay any form of taxation would provide their labor free to the kingdom, known as Corvée system. In return, the kings provided security to the farmers, fighting off the enemies at the borders. Some system of taxation has always been practiced from the earliest Egyptian civilization through the Greek, Roman, and Anglo-Saxon civilization down to the present-day civilized societies. In Mauritius, the first income tax ordinance was enacted in 1932 and came in force on 1st July 1933 and was there up to the 30th of June 2006. Income tax was being collected by the government of Mauritius through the Income Tax Department. Today, governments have replaced lords, kings, and pharaohs by state administrators. The Mauritius Revenue Authority, commonly known as the MRA, is mandated to collect taxes in Mauritius and in Rodrigues. The MRA came into operation on 1st July 2006. It was following the merger of four government departments falling under the aegis of the Ministry of Finance, namely the Income Tax Department, the Value Added Tax Department, the Large Taxpayers Department, and the Customs and Excise Department. Taxes collected by the MRA are remitted or credited to the Consolidated Fund. The government of Mauritius takes money from that fund to finance all the socio-economic projects in Mauritius and in Rodrigues.
I'm only going to take some main taxes. Firstly, we have got income tax. So under the income tax, you have personal income tax and corporate tax. Personal income tax, we have got individuals who earn a salary at the end of the month. And we also have self-employed individuals. They fall under personal income tax. Whereas corporate tax, we have got companies, societies, trusts, etc. They fall under the corporate tax. Let me take a simple example for you to understand how it works. So under personal income tax, we have got different categories of individual, right? So I'm taking a simple one category, which is an individual with no dependent. So for this financial year, that is 2024-2025, the exemption level is 30,000 per month. So anybody earning less than 30,000 per month will not pay income tax. Okay? So let's take an example, somebody earning 31,000 per month. Will he pay income tax? Yes. And what will be the rate of income tax? For this particular period, I mean, this financial year, the rate of tax is a progressive one. It starts from 0 to 4 up to 20%. So for this category, for 31,000, the rate is 2%. So how do you calculate it? It is 2% on 31,000 is income minus the exemption level, which is 30,000. So the remainder, 1,000, is a taxable amount. So 2% on taxable amount on 1,000 is, you do maths also. It is 20 rupees. So to cut short, somebody earning 31,000 per month in this category will pay 20 rupees only as income tax. Is it okay? Is it too much? No. All right. Just for you to have an idea how it works. Now, how income tax was introduced in Mauritius, let's talk about it through a video.
Hello, greetings from the MRA. Today, I'm going to talk about the evolution of income tax in Mauritius. Income tax was first enacted in the year 1932 and came into operation on 1st of July 1933. However, income tax was not applied until July 1934 due to some amendments that were brought to law for a graduated poll tax. The poll tax was in fact income tax, a term that was used in certain African colonies at that time. An income tax branch was thereafter established, income tax forms were issued, and returns were received. In the first year of operations, there were some 1,165 taxpayers in Mauritius. The graduated poll tax was replaced in 1950 by a tax levied on actual income as from the year of assessment 1951-52. Other changes in the format of income tax took place over the subsequent half-century, including the introduction of pay-as-you-earn system, commonly known as a PAYE, which became effective as from July 1993. In the post-independence years, the government favored a progressive tax based on annual earnings of taxpayers. You will get more detailed information on the different categories of individual taxpayers on the MRA website www.mra.mu. Thank you.
Value-added tax. Right? This is an indirect tax. What is the rate of value-added tax in Mauritius? This is 15%. But is it levied on all products? No. On the basic commodities, such as if you're going to buy fish, bread, fresh vegetables, you don't pay value-added tax. But other items are VATable, right? So when, how are you going to notice that a trader is VAT registered? You're going to have, the traders will have affixed in their businesses a sticker. This is a yellow sticker which you are going to find. And this is going to give you an indication that the trader is VAT registered. And what does it imply? It implies that the trader is going to charge you VAT for the sales that they're going to make. Obviously, if it is a VATable product, right? So at times it happens when you purchase from a VAT registered entity, the trader is going to ask you, do you need a receipt? Have you heard this? Do you need a receipt? So in case you see this sticker, yellow sticker, it means that the trader is a VAT registered entity. The question of asking whether do you need a receipt does not arise because he has got the obligation to issue a receipt. Is it okay? Right? So why is it that the trader is asking, do you need a receipt? Why? Why is it so? Let me take a simple example. You go in a shop to buy a mobile phone. It is 10,000 rupees. 15% VAT is 1,500. The total is 11,500. And the trader asks you, do you need a receipt? And you said, no, I don't need any receipt. So what is the reason? What is going to happen here? The trader is charging 10,000 rupees for the mobile, including his profit. This is his money. We don't have any issue with that. But the 15%, that is the 1,500, is not his money. This amount is allocated for VAT, which he is collecting on behalf of the MRA, and he has to remit to the MRA. Is it all right? So in case you go through any traders which is VAT registered, you are ensuring that it is VAT registered, but not giving you receipt, you can ask for receipt. And in case if the trader refuses, you can report the matter to the MRA. How you will report? You go on the website of the MRA, www.mra.mu. On the home page itself, there's a complaint icon. You enter your complaint and submit. Even if you don't want to give your name, this is no problem. You can keep it anonymous. We will investigate into those cases. So can we count on you on that? Right. So VAT, we have done a series of spots to create an awareness on the public that we need to ask for receipts. So let's view one or two of those spots.
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît, c'est un mémo, ça c'est peine reçu.
Aïe, sorry madame, attends me donner un récit.
Vous trouvez, à chaque fois qu'il me fait un achat d'un commerce qui va register, me demande un reçu. Oui, si, pas oublier demander un reçu.
Oui, toujours exige ou récit côté un commerçant qui va register. Comme ça, il a l'obligation de remettre sa 15% TVA qui vous payer là à la MRA.
Quand on fait un achat dans n'importe quel commerce, qu'il est magasin, restaurant, quincaillerie, bijouterie, etc., côté ça vient de zone là, où on a pour payer TVA. Donc, pas oublier de demander nos reçus.
D'après la loi, l'ONRC qui est na TVA, obligé et na sa bonne information là. Invoice number, VAT registration number commerçant là, date qui on fait ou achat et montant TVA qui vous fin payer.
Now let's talk about the other forms of taxes that we administer at the MRA. We have got excise duty. Excise duty is leviable on commodities which the government want to reduce consumption. For instance, alcoholic products, cigarettes, and we have got other products as well. We have a customs duty. Customs duty is leviable on imports. We have a tax on gaming. So let's say somebody is going to the casino. So there is a tax on gambling. We have got environment protection fee. So there's a special fee levied on products that cause harm to the environment. For instance, the batteries that you have got on your mobile phones. As there is a special levy on banks. We have got also billboard tax. Let's say when you travel by bus or by car, you see billboards everywhere on the streets. So the billboard owners, depending on the size of the billboard and the place, they are going to pay billboard tax. And we also collect there is also corporate social responsibility. All profitable institution companies in Mauritius has got the obligation to use 2% of their profit towards CSR activities, right? If they don't do any CSR activities, that 2% they're going to remit to the MRA. So here we have given a brief of the different forms of taxes. We have more than this, but just to have a brief idea of the forms of taxes. Now that we have spoken about the different types of taxes, let's speak about money. How much money we are speaking about? You have an idea? We said we started operation on 1st July 2006. During the first year of operations, that is 2006-2007, the MRA collected, on the left you're going to see the figures is in million. So we have collected during the first year 24,204 million rupees. That was during the first year of operation. And this amount increased to 49 billion in 2010. In 2015, it rose to 67 billion. And in the last financial year, that is 23-24, this figure rose to 150 billion rupees. Is it okay? So that you have an idea when we are speaking about taxation, how much money we are speaking. Now the question is, where does the money go? That 150 billion rupees. Do you think some coins come to your pocket? Do you think so? Where it go? Yeah, we tend to believe that other people use the money. We tend to believe. That's that. We don't know who. They get the money. It goes in their pocket. Whose pocket? But it comes back to our pockets as well. Let me take example. We have got West Coast here, which is a private institution, isn't it? Right? They pay for their school, right? Whereas the other colleges that we have got here, Loreto College and Saint Joseph, where you're not paying the fees. Why? If we are taking the example of HSC students, so who is paying the fees? It is approximately an average of 20,000 per month. Who pays that 20,000 per month? It comes from the consolidated fund. I'm speaking of one student. Just imagine how many students we have got in Mauritius. From pre-primary to primary, secondary, and even tertiary is free of charge. So this money comes from the consolidated fund. Yes, the coins doesn't come directly to you, but it comes to you in the form of education, right? Even these colleges, you have already passed your SC exams, but even that you haven't paid. Who paid it? It is the government through the consolidated fund. So we have so many examples to show that the money that we are speaking about comes back to you. There are so many other social welfare activities. We are going to view a video later on to see about the different facilities that people get. And government also use funds from the consolidated fund to fund government projects, such as building of schools, colleges, bridge, roads, etc. Right? So let's watch a video about how the money that is collected, then which goes in the consolidated fund, and how it is used.
Ayo, MRA, envoie-moi encore un autre reminder. Qui fait bien payer taxes? Fouf!
Pas casse-tête, papy. Te connais? Dans l'école, van officier MRA fait une présentation pour montrer nous qui fait bien payer taxes. Vous connaissez te précevoir le travail. Mais demandez 10 minutes avec toi pour me montrer toi qui me fin apprendre.
Bon, 10 minutes alors. Tu connais comment le trafic bloqué dans le grand matin?
Justement, papy. Quand nous causons trafic, nous causons la route. Pour capable construire plus la route pour éclairer cette infrastructure, faut que tout le monde qui a une taxe pour payer, je fais un devoir et paye cette taxe comme besoin. grosses affaires, Loreto, pour qu'il la loi respectée, qui est en présence de la police et qui nous sentit nous en sécurité quand nous voyageons et que nous allons promener. Ça aussi, c'est grâce à l'argent qui est collecté en termes de taxes par MRA. Pareil pour la santé, papi. Tout Mauricien gagne soin de la santé gratis. Et comment tu peux trouver l'eau samanzimas là? L'État est capable aussi de construire un nouvel hôpital avec l'équipement moderne. Encore un peu de patience, pas. Tu te rappelles quand Daddy racontait les centres récréatifs avec ce friend? Mais toi et mamie aussi, ils ont contribué là-dedans, grâce à la taxe qu'ils ont payée et qui est mort et remettre à l'État. Aussi, quand Daddy a promené, il paye une poupée bis. Ça aussi, grâce à la taxe que toi et que mamie payaient. L'éducation aussi pareil, les gratis. Et grâce à ça même qui a aujourd'hui beaucoup de jeunes fin arrivés, fait une grande étude. Alors, un peu c'est que me l'apprendre dans l'école.
Motivé, je suis fier de toi. Mais seulement, tu oublies une affaire? Attends, de me montrer toi. Bis gratis pour les enfants à l'école. Ça aussi, papa qui payait. Grâce à taxe.
Mais moi, c'est qui m'a retenu. Puis Daddy, puis c'est dire moi merci. Parce que grâce à taxe qui m'a payé, tout le grand monde gagne transport gratuit.
Now let's talk about the customs department. As I mentioned earlier, customs is part and parcel of the MRA. It is one department whose role is to collect revenue for the state in terms of the customs excise duties. It ensures national security. It protects the society. It prevents illicit flows of financial flows and also facilitates the legitimate movement of people and goods across the border. And to facilitate the legitimate movement of goods, we have got intrusive equipment as well to detect prohibited items. We are going to view a video about the use of equipment that we use at the MRA. As I mentioned, we use several techniques to detect prohibited goods. We also have a canine dogs under the canine unit, which we have got 16 dogs, canine dogs in total, which fall under the responsibility of the Customs Anti-Narcotic Section. So they are here to detect any prohibited item. So we have in our midst today our heroes, but I'll ask the audience, including media, not to take their pictures because they work behind the scene, and they are the real officers who do the job. So we have in our midst Mr. Bond, Jack Bond 001. He is the first generation of canine experts, and he's actually in charge of this unit, of the canine unit. So Mr. Bond, can you hear me?
Hello, Doc. We are here.
Okay, Mr. Bond. Wait for a second. And we have also among us, he's Mr. Bean, Robin. He is a dog handler. He handles one of the canine dog. And the canine dog is Teachr. Teachr is very intelligent. He's 7 years old, and he has been working with the MRA for the past 7 years.
And he can detect drugs, currencies, and tobacco. Right? This is his specialty. But what we are going to do, we are going to do a live demonstration of how our canine dogs act upon prohibited items. So firstly, we are going to try to detect cannabis or drugs. So you may watch, so we are going to do a live demonstration. We are going to use the samples that we have at our end.
Let's start.
Okay.
Black the boy. Good job, baby. As you may see, a very good sample of cannabis found by canine Nakri.
Now we are going to proceed with another exercise. I will ask any volunteer from the audience to give a banknote, and we're going to see if Nakri can detect that banknote in one of those bags. So we have one friend here. He's giving us a banknote. Yes. We will put it in the bag. And let me tell you that for the previous year, that is 2024, the MRA has seized drugs, which is of market value more than 2.4 billion rupees. So just imagine about how much havoc drugs is causing to this society. So our friend Sylvie is handing over this banknote from the gentleman to Mr. Bond. This is a banknote.
It's not a 2,000 banknote. It's a 500.
Okay. This 500 banknote, he is putting in one of the bags.
So this dog has been trained to detect banknotes, currency, but bear with him. It's only one banknote now. We are actually trying to detect. Let's see. Good doggy. Good job. Good doggy. Good job.
So remove the banknote.
Under the nose.
And in the previous year, the dogs have seized. We have made, MRA MRA Customs has made 86 cases in terms of currency amounting to 67 million rupees.
Yes.
That was for 2024, which I call the rapid fire segment, right? So what we're going to do in this segment, I'm going to ask a few questions. So the first one who raises his or her hand is going to get one MRA pen, right? Yeah, not yet. So if we can please be ready, my team. So the first question is, which country was ranked on the 10th place in the Be Ready 2024 index? We've seen the top 10 countries, isn't it? You remember? So which country was on the 10th position? So we got somebody?
Lesotho.
Yes, Lesotho. We have another one. We're going to taking these two. Okay, so Lesotho is the right answer. Give them their choose. Okay, the answer, this is Lesotho. Right, we have got another question. Income tax was enacted in 1932. It came into operation in 1933 and applied in 1934. This is what we have seen from the video. What was the number of taxpayers actually in the first year of operation of income tax in Mauritius? The number of taxpayers. Anyone?
34,149.
No. Okay. This is the wrong answer. We have another one.
34.
34?
30. Yes.
No. We take a last one.
1,165.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, in the first year of operation in Mauritius, we had 1,165 taxpayers. The third question, in which year VAT was introduced in Mauritius and what was the VAT rate? In which year VAT was introduced in Mauritius and what was the VAT rate at that time? One.
2006, and the VAT rate was 2%.
No, it's wrong. We take one more.
So it was in 2006, 15%?
No, in fact, the VAT was introduced in Mauritius in 1998, and during the first year, the rate was 10%. Okay. The fourth question, what is the total contribution in the consolidated fund by the MRA since its operation in 2006? So from the inception of the MRA, how much has the MRA contributed in the consolidated fund? Give me a figure. Give me a figure. How much MRA has contributed in the consolidated fund?
150 millions.
150,000. And encore, a last one?
150 millions. 150 millions.
No. In fact, MRA has contributed more than 1 trillion rupees in the consolidated fund. More than 1 trillion during the nearly 20 years. I'll give you a simple question, so try your best. Who was the Director General of the MRA when MRA came into operations in 2006 or 2006? Who was the Director General? Everybody knows the answer?
Monsieur Lal.
Yes, it seems that everybody knows the answer. So what we are going to do on behalf of the Director General and the MRA, we are pleased to offer 1 pen to everybody in the audience. Right. So now let's move to the next segment, which is question and answer. So in case you have got any questions or clarifications that you require, please feel free to ask. Anybody, just raise your hands. We are going to answer to your question. Yes.
Okay, so one question I have is, how successful has the MRA been at reducing tax evasion in Mauritius over the past decade? And is there any specific statistics you can share with us?
So what we have done in terms of tax evasion, so I'll request if DG, if you could answer to the question, sir.
We have a fiscal investigation department, the job of which is to identify and tax the anti-tax evasion and the fraud and the anti-tax evasion. We collect around $1 billion from the tax evasion, about 1 billion from the normal assessments, and about $500 million from the objections and adjudications, whereas the voluntary taxes paid through the income tax and the corporate tax, they are around 30 billion of rupees. So in a year, we do identify about 400 to 500 tax evasion cases, and then their assessments are made. They go in appeal, but we do collect around $1 billion of rupees only through tax evasion.
How does the MRA assess the impact of its tax incentives on the local economy?
Tax incentives and tax exemptions are given by the government to promote certain industries or to promote certain classes of taxpayers. Like say, airlines. Now it's in the business of airlines, you would see that the costs are very high. So a government would give a tax incentive for the investment in the airline business or for purchase of their spare parts for some years. So there are several tax exemptions, there are several tax incentives, and the total tax incentives, if you quantify in monetary terms, they would also be more than 10 billion rupees. But as I said, these incentives are given by the government to attract investment in certain sectors where it is shy, or to give a respite to the taxpayer where the profitability is less.
Any more? Okay, we are going to take those two, okay, 3 last questions, okay?
I wanted to ask what taxes apply when buying, selling, or renting a property in Mauritius?
Can you repeat the sound also, please?
I said, what taxes apply when buying, selling, or renting a property in Mauritius?
So your question is, what tax is being applied on buying and selling a rental property? So buying and selling a rental property is considered as a normal business, and the businessman should apply its tax rate accordingly on the revenue, on the net profit. In fact, it is a chargeable income. It is 15% for any type of, for example, the real estate properties, real estate investment, it is 15%, but it is applied on its chargeable income. And I don't know whether you understand chargeable income, but chargeable income is the profit which is chargeable for tax purposes. And we have the turnover, less expenses, and we arrive at the net income, and then net income is not we do not apply the tax rate on the net income, but we do apply on the chargeable income, which is made up of, that is a net income, you have the allowable deductions and the unauthorized deductions, we arrive at the chargeable income, and then you can apply your tax rate, 15%.
So my question is, what are all the products that you have seized? Where are they? What are done with them?
Yes. Good morning, students. So products seized, we have at customs many products. Main products seized, let's see, narcotics. So when it is seized, after the trial at the court, then in the presence of police, customs, these are destroyed at specified places, normally at the line barracks. But at customs, we also seize many intellectual property rights. As you see in the video, counterfeit watches, clothings. So these are done at the Lakshed Mer Rouge, all under supervision of the right holders, also in supervision of customs and the finance department. So we destroy this on one day, then the next day, depends on the type of goods, we dispose it at Moshikos or at approved e-waste recyclers or at other approved places by Ministry of Environment. So mainly customs seize products. We have also many things that we have in contraband. We do sell. We dispose these goods at our auction sale. We have in place our online auction sale system. So at specified times, you can go to our website. You will see these goods are disposed. We sell these goods. And all this money goes to the consolidated fund.
Use the money for our own purpose. So we are going to take a final question, please. Final one.
Why is the MRA used as a political tool against the citizens of Mauritius?
Can you repeat, please?
Why is the MRA used as a political tool against the citizens of Mauritius?
MRA is a revenue authority enacted under an act of parliament as a revenue authority to administer revenue laws and to collect taxes. MRA acts under Income Tax Act, Customs Act, Excise Act, VAT Act, and the MRA Act, and it cannot be used for political purposes because they only impose taxes on the incomes in accordance with law.
So with that question, we end this segment. And you have one question, last? Okay, we have last. We take from one of the teachers, please. But this is the last question.
Bonjour à tous. Tomorrow is Women's Day. So I would like to know what about women inclusion in MRA? In terms of management level, in terms of participation.
MRA is an equal opportunity employer organization. It is also registered under corporate governance, and we have a designated policy for gender discrimination. In the revenue departments, means all the departments of MRA excluding customs. So in those departments, we have more women than men. So it's not only question of inclusivity. In fact, in our organization, women are more than men. As far as customs is concerned, at the start in 2006, we had 11% women, and now they are 43%. But I believe in a year or so, women would exceed than the men. Previously in customs, since it's a department which requires the night postings, going to the fields, going to the sea. So some women wouldn't like to come, but now in Mauritius, women are as active, as smart, as participating as men. And in fact, now our condition is that in the revenue departments, women are 62% and the men are 48%.
We have reached the end of this session. So for the closing, I will invite Mr. Lochan. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thecka, for this enriching session. Now, as we move towards the conclusion of today's program, I would like to invite representatives of various colleges to say a few words. For West Coast International College, representing the student, we have Kiara Ho and teacher Miss Noor Husenbux. So please.
Dear Mauritius Revenue Authority, on behalf of Economics and Business Form 6 students from West Coast International Secondary School, I would like to thank you for hosting us at the Auditorium of Integrated Customs Clearance Center, ICCC. This was a highly educational experience which allowed us to learn furthermore on the taxation in Mauritius. It was a wonderful time as we experienced the opportunity to know more on the use and impact of taxation here. This enhanced our learning experience while directly interacting with your lovely team along the way. Thank you once again, as we are so grateful to have been given this opportunity, and it was certainly an unforgettable experience for us all. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Kiara. Now we have Miss Noor Husenbux will address us.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to send a huge thank you for organizing such an awesome trip for all our students of Form 6, Economics and Business. The experience, I think, has really helped them to connect the theories and practice together. It is usually one thing to learn in classroom, but seeing it in real life made everything click for them. I'm really sure that they are going to be talking about the live experiences for weeks. And thank you everyone for making all of us feel so welcomed. The students, I'm sure really appreciated everything that you've done. We've had a really fantastic time and thank you yet again.
Thank you, Ms. Husenbux. Now, from the Loreto College, we have a student, Grace Lebrasse, who will address us some words.
Good morning to you all. So first of all, the members of the teaching staff and us students of LCRH, thank you all for welcoming us today. I will classify today's session as a merit good because the information about taxation today will not only be useful to me as a student to have a great understanding of the concept of taxation, which is part of my essay exam, but also I will be able to share with my parents, students, and relatives the role of taxation in the MRA in Mauritius. Thank you again and wishing you all a good day ahead.
Thank you, Grace. Now, and finally, we have from the Saint Joseph College, BHishek Shibdeen to address us some words, please.
Bonjour à tous, BHishek Shibdeen, étudiant du Collège du Saint-Joseph. Tout d'abord, je tiens à remercier la MRA pour l'invitation d'aujourd'hui. Un grand merci aux membres de l'exécutif qui ont pris de leur temps pour nous partager leurs connaissances. Alors, je ne sais pas vous, mais avant aujourd'hui, la MRA n'était que la Mauritius Revenue Authority. Mais grâce à cette présentation, j'ai pu apprendre beaucoup à propos de l'entreprise, tout comme les plusieurs façades présentes, ainsi que leur vision, leur mission et les valeurs, parmi d'autres. Pour finir, un grand bravo à la MRA pour l'initiative mise en place pour la sensibilisation de nos jeunes. Merci.
Merci, BHishek. I now invite Mr. Teeluckdharry, Assistant Director, to deliver his closing remarks for today's event. Mr. Teeluckdharry, please, once again. So, thank you very much, Mr. Lochan. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusion of this third edition of the MRA Study 2, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to each one of you for your active participation and enthusiasm. It has been an insightful session where we explored the importance of taxation, the role of compliance, and the significant contribution of the Customs Department in ensuring border protection. Today, we have seen that taxation is not just about paying money to the government. It is about nation building, fairness, and shared responsibility. Taxes fund the very services that we all rely on: our education, healthcare, roads, and security. Without taxation, no country can develop and function effectively. Through our discussions, you have gained a clearer understanding of how tax compliance ensures economic stability, how tax evasion negatively impacts society, and how the MRA works to create a fair and transparent system for all. Moreover, the role of the Customs Department in protecting our borders against illegal trade and ensuring the safety of our citizens was an eye-opener, proving that tax administration extends beyond revenue collection to safeguarding the interests of the nation. Our Director General, Mr. Sudhamo, he announced already a very exciting project, the creation of tax clubs in secondary schools. So as part of our ongoing discussions with the Ministry of Education and Human Resource, we aim to create platforms where students like you can engage in discussions on taxation, learn about financial responsibility, and develop leadership skills in tax awareness campaigns within their schools. These tax clubs will serve as a space where you students can take the lead in understanding taxation in an interactive and practical way. Through activities such as organizing debates and discussions on related topics, hosting guest speakers from the MRA and other financial experts, conducting peer-to-peer learning sessions, and participating in community awareness programs on taxation and compliance. By creating these clubs, we are investing in you, the next generation of responsible citizens. Our objective is to equip you with the knowledge and skills needed to navigate the financial world with confidence and integrity. As you leave this auditorium today, we hope that you carry with you not just information, but a sense of responsibility towards your country and its progress. The choices you make in the future, whether as professionals, entrepreneurs, or business owners, will shape the economic landscape of Mauritius. We encourage you to continue learning, questioning, and participating actively in national matters. Remember, an informed youth is a powerful force for change. Once again, thank you all for your time and engagement, as well as the educators and the MRA team for making this event a success. We look forward to seeing you again, perhaps as members of the first ever tax clubs in Mauritius, in your schools. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.